Thank you so much for the insightful class. So I have two questions here and I'll just go straight to it. Number one, how best can I really understand where my company stands? I run a limited liability company and I already took the fact that this is like a small company earlier. But when you mentioned service providing companies, it struck a chord because I was like, what are we talking about here?
Does it require professional certification?
No.
So you can. So that's what we call loopholes in the tax law. So you can hide under that loophole that does not require, because what the tax law says, requirements, tax as in professional certification. So for instance, it gives examples, chartered accountants, engineers, architects, surveyors. So those ones are registered and they need professional certification. So when the law is silent, many will usually hide under that. And just like I said, it is not tax evasion, it is tax avoidance. And tax avoidance is legal.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And the second question I have is, are there platforms where one can, on his own, I know we have tax consultants, we have professionals who handle the accounts and all, but maybe if one is operating with lean operation as a company, are there ways one can go about all these remissions himself?
According to the new tax law, permits me to answer straight away. According to the new tax law, every company must have a tax agent. According to the new tax law, every company must have a tax agent. You can't represent yourself at the tax law, at the tax office.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, well, that's one of the questions I want to ask. And also, during the first type of tax you talk about,
Okay, sir.
that CIT, you said we must file returns. So I want to ask, these returns and the annual returns we file to the CAC, they are two different things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. And you said if we are to pay the payee for the staffs,
Yes, sir.
is it irrespective of how much we are paying them? So we have to pay their payee?
No. Okay. Once they are earning less than 80 to 100,000 naira monthly, you are not to deduct payee from them.
Okay.
But you have to just state it in the schedule that this person collects 70,000 naira, 50,000 naira. The tax deducted is zero.
If you are paying them through electronic means or you are paying them in cash. So
Either of the way. Either way, you have to deduct and file. In the case of they not meeting up with that threshold of 800,000 naira, which is the taxable income, don't deduct at all. It's zero. But once they earn above 100,000, 80 to 100,000 naira, what will determine that? Because if you calculate 80,000 naira multiplied by 12, that should be 840,000. Is that 840?
960.
960. So 960. By the time you factor in the deduction, part of the deduction is what we call pension. Because once you have more than 3 staff, what the law says that you must do pension for them. And what is the pension law? You as an employer and the employer, you pay 10%, you deduct 8% from their salary. And the 8% is not of the gross. It is what we call BHT, basic, housing, and transports. Depending on your percentage. Percentage is company specific. We don't have a general law. So pension is deductible. NHF, National Housing Fund, is deductible. Insurance premium, whether for that person or for the wife or for the husband, whichever way, is deductible. If you took loan in the bank to build your personal house, the interest you are paying on that house, you are permitted to deduct it. So that's another deduction. 20% of your rent yearly, you are permitted to deduct it. Or 500,000 naira, whichever is lower. So by the time you factor in all these deductions I've mentioned, you will see that it will come down to below 800,000 naira, and that person will not need to pay payee.
Thank you. The last question is this. You said we are holding tax.
Yes, sir.
In a case, how will you explain it to your landlord that I want to hold this and pay the RRS on your behalf? I don't know if you understand.
I understand you.
So you will, let's say he has like 10 spaces. So you'll be calculating how much you are almost removing that. No. And is it possible for you when you say when the tax agent or whatever is that name comes? I think it would have been better if there's a forum they can educate all these landlords, or let us pay to them, go and collect from them, because it's going to cause a lot of issues.
Yes, sir.
They say, no, you cannot remove my money.
Yes, sir.
Or they give you quick notice and leave. So what do you think?
Okay, thank you, sir. On a normal day, we usually hide under this loophole, which is, it is across the counter. You know, I told you that withholding tax as a loophole. Once you tell the taxman that it is across the counter, he knows. Please write that language, write it down. Across the counter. Now, but in this case, rents usually have agreements. So they believe that it's a contract. And a contractual agreement, you must deduct withholding tax. So that's where they will hold you by the hand. That no, you cannot tell us. So now you have two options. Is it that you discuss with your landlord that you are going to deduct 10%, or you decide to bear the withholding tax, which is 40% of that 100,000 naira that you should have deducted, and the administrative charge. Just add it to your rents. Even though they will not, they are not going to allow you to deduct it as part of your expenses before arriving at your net profit. They are not going to allow it. It's called disallowable expenses. But you just factor it in. How much is 40% of the amount you should have deducted? If you go and meet your landlord, the landlord will tell you that it's going to increase house rent. And whether we like it or not, business owners, they are going to increase house rents as in business because of the NERA Act that was signed last year. They will start paying insurance, doing insurance for all public buildings. So,
because that's actually what I wanted to say.
Okay.
That it looks to me like these new laws
okay, sir.
will propel landlords.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Because if I own a property and then you are coming to tell me you want to take 10% of the rent that should come to me, it's just simple. I just increase by 50%.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not going to lose anything. But it's coming back to the tenants.
Yes, sir.
So how do we fix?
Okay, sir. That's why I said you just decide to bear the penalty rather than discussing with the landlord. Since the penalty says 40% of how much you should have deducted, not of the whole amounts. And I cited the example of 1 million naira as your rent. You should have deducted 100,000 naira. But the law says if you don't deduct the 100,000 naira, you yourself, you are going to pay 40,000 naira. Plus penalty. Penalty is 10% of 40,000 naira, which is 4,000 naira, making 44,000. That's penalty is different from interest. So 4,000 naira plus 40,000, that's 44. Interest rate at 27.5 of the 44,000 naira. So that's the total you are going to pay as penalty. It's just for the 1 year. So I think it's better than that, rather than meeting the landlord to say that one is cheaper, rather than saying I want to deduct. Rather than say the person, just like you said, sir, many will say 50%. And whether you like it or not, NERA Act that is going to take effect from this anything from July. Many landlords or public buildings are going to increase their rents because they say under must now, for instance, this building now, it must be insured. So the rent automatically goes up. Aside from the tax aspects, NERA also is going to increase our rents.
So it looks to me, before the next question, also that every business owner will need to double up.
Yes, sir.
Both buckle up and double up.
Yes,
meaning
sir.
that as the expenses increases, because you're going to pay more rent,
Yes, sir.
pay more tax and
Yes,
all
sir.
those things. It means that it's just my thought that everyone who does business needs to now find ways to increase
Yes, sir.
their revenue
Revenue.
to be able to catch up with. You know, I was explaining this. For me, if you can't escape it, what you do the way out. So what I've been thinking is, I'm just thinking about, okay, what else can I do? I mean, this is my thought. You can then advise us if it is right. Is that I'm already thinking, can I create a platform, another line of business that I just say, okay, this business is not going to give me capital inflow or main inflow, but it's going to be servicing all of these additional expenses. So it means that I'm going to be paying tax. I know I'll pay tax on this main inflow. But what this other inflow is called, maybe we can say, okay, passive income. But I'm not using this passive income to buy cars or do anything. Sir. But whatever I generate is going to take care of all of those other withholding tax, all of those things. So at the end of the day, my revenue will still be okay. I'll still be fine. It's just my personal thought.
Sir, it was that personal thought of yours that brought about AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's one of the greatest revenue generators for Amazon today. They wanted to have it as a side business. That let's just have it. But today is one of the biggest generator of revenue for them. So you are in line, sir. You are in line, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome, ma.
Yes, I have two questions, and one of the questions have been asked by Mr. Oyebade, and the question is the difference between the annual returns and this other.
They are different.
So that has been cleared. Then talking about the personal tax ID. So the place I was working before, they deduct this tax from our salary, and I have the ID card. So, and I've left the place for like 10 years now. So I want to ask, is that ID still valuable? Okay. Then one of the banks that I used, they deduct this FIRS from my money every month. So I want to know, what is it all about? Is it about what you're talking, the tax you're talking about, or just for them? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma. Thanks for that wonderful question. Okay, so number one is the tax ID. The old tax ID is no longer valid. There's this flyer that just came out from JRB. So what you need to generate the new tax ID is either your NIN or the house registration number of your business. So you go to that site. Maybe if there is a church platform, the site has been flying all about, but I can send the flyer to pastor. So just go to that site, you just input your NIN, then it will generate a new tax ID for you. On a normal day, it should not be an issue because they don't want duplicity of numbers. So they wanted to use our NIN and your business registration number. But they are now saying that let's go to that website, go and input your NIN, then it will generate a new tax ID for you. So that's that. Then for the FIRS the deduction you have from your bank, it is legal. Because just like I said, all these fintechs, OPay, PAMPay, they've not been deducting. But for others, they've been mandated to deduct, which is the VAT and also the electronic transfer charges. But now it has been turned to stamp duty. So it is called stamp duty from 1st January 2026. So it is legal.
That's all those deductions. Do they cover for, because it means like every transaction I do, they do that deduction.
Yes, sir.
From the bank.
Yes, sir.
Does that cover for all of the other things that do I still need to remit to the government, or I can assume that banks have already deducted, believing that they are going to remit, or I still have to follow all of those procedure of filing my, what do you call it now?
Your returns.
Yes, my return, and then do all of those things. Do I still need to go through all of those processes?
Yes, you have to go through all those processes. What the bank has been deducting is VAT on the charges. And for that, it is normal. Even if you are buying Coca-Cola, you pay VAT on it. It is something that is being paid by the final consumer. It is the final consumer that burns. By the time you buy this mic, when you bought this mic, you were charged VAT. Because what the new tax law says that any expenses that you incur, and you do not pay VAT on it, you are not permitted to deduct that expenses from your business expenses. Any expenses you incur, that you are not charged VAT on that particular expenses, you are not permitted to deduct that expenses from your business expenses, and that's why you have to. So the question now is, when I buy from a small business has been told not to charge VAT. Am I right? A small business, 100 million revenue, 50 million fixed assets. So when I buy from a small company, the small company did not charge VAT because it's a small company. So, but I'm a large company. What am I to do? There's something called self-accounting. You are to charge yourself and remit it. It's in the tax law. So you are still to file yourself, because what they have deducted is just VAT, and VAT is normal. It's normal.
The only thing I can say from all of these things.
But the only thing, sir, is all the services, for instance, that you render to churches, if they deduct withholding tax, just tell them to give you your credit notes, your tax credits. So once they give you, then you use that one to reduce your own tax liability.
But if it is not available, you can do your calculation.
You can do your calculation that this person deducted, this person deducted, yes.
All right.
You can do your calculations.
What I'll say is this, the challenge here, like what somebody says, the only thing that is constant in life is change.
Yes, sir.
And adjusting to change is difficult.
Yes,
I think
sir.
that's what is happening, because we are not used to all of these things.
Yes, sir.
So, your question.
And another concern for many people is, kini ìjọba máa fowó ìṣe? But just like Jesus said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Okay, your question, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you, sir. You made mention of like January now, before January 26, that every business owner, especially, let me say those people working for you, and you yourself as a business owner, you need to pay some certain amount of money to Ogun State Revenue Service.
Yes,
now, what's the difference with that one? And the monthly filing, we are also filing to is it so what's not the difference? Because before 26th of this month, we have to pay, I don't know the amount of money, because that's part of the question I'm asking. How much are we paying? And we are still going to file monthly reports again. So, and after 1 year or so, we are still going to, if there is possible, we are still going to pay a tax. We are still going to pay that tax again. So what's now the difference? Why paying, okay, before 26th of this month, we have to pay some certain amount of OGRS?
Which one is before 26th?
While you were teaching us, and you said,
No, it's just annual returns before 31st.
before 34th, yes.
You are just to file. All the ones you have paid, you now compile it together, and you go and, you are not paying anything.
Okay.
You will now go and submit, or you submit electronically, which is you submit online.
Okay.
That's just it. They just need a proof. On a normal day, it's not supposed to be, but they said, okay, combine all your receipts, everyone you have made from January to December, and just file returns. That's all. That's what we call the filing of returns.
From last year to
Yes, to December.
Okay, then we have to file it.
Yes, so you can do it online.
Okay, please, we will need the site, sir.
Okay,
Then
no
number
problem.
2, then how do we now, for example, we that are running small businesses, we have about like 2 or 3 persons working for us. How do we now file? Because those people, their salary is not, let me see, not 100,000 naira.
Okay.
How do we file monthly reports for them again as business?
Okay, just like in this case now, you as the business owner, are you collecting salary or director's fee? And it depends on the amounts. It depends on the amount, because the tax table is a table. Is that?
That's the truth.
You don't collect anything. Okay. So the question is, how do you handle your personal expenses?
What I do most times, what we do most times,
Okay.
maybe by the end of the month, okay, how much is, we can just take some, let me say 200,000, 100,000. It depends on the profit.
Okay.
That's what we used to run the expenses.
Okay.
Basically, that's how we.
For your personal expenses or business expenses?
I'm talking, I know, like me,
Okay.
we don't collect salary.
Okay.
Maybe we have to start now. So what we do is, we will just collect, check the expenses, and we will just deduct a little amount of money to run the home. That's what
To run the home.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
basically that's how we do it.
So that's your salary then. It's either you call it salary or director's fee.
Okay, I think that salary will be okay, so they will pay the 15%.
By the time we know the amount, for instance, if you are doing 20 million naira for your, you know it's in category now. Pastor Shegun now, you know that his own salary will not be 1,000. So that's when we now look at the calculation. Sir, we will paying 15% director's fee and be Kalo tax table. By the time we approach the tax table, do you understand? And also the deductions. For instance, I was doing it for someone during the week, and I will give you an example. The deduction matters. Are you doing insurance? If you are doing insurance, it favors you to go on salary. If you are doing more of pension, it favors you to go on salary. If you have a loan you are paying on your house, the loan you collected for your house, it is better you go on salary. Because director's fee will not factor in all those deductions. Do you understand? So when we do all those calculations, we arrive at go for salary. So we don't just arrive at go for salary. If you don't have any deduction, for instance, by the time we calculate it, we may say, okay, go for director's fee. So it depends on each individual's peculiar situation. So, sir, the question is, how do you now cater for your personal expenses? Because the moment money flows in from your business, you know your business account is different, to your personal account, it will be categorized either as your director's, majorly as director's fee. Once it is not uniform, it is director's fee. And they will tell you that you should pay 15% of that money.
He has mentioned part of it. The business is like this. It's two. Another person is on a government payroll. So we use that one to run the home. And the business. At times, if the government home is not enough, we just take part, like he said, just to cushion the effect. And like you said, now I think we still need for more advice. I saw it in your presentation that we are in doubt that we should seek professional advice, because we are this 2026. Some of us, we need to sit very well. So to give to Caesar what is Caesar, so they will not disturb us. So I think we will still need to seek your professional advice and consultation on some personal issues too, and how to go about the filings.
Okay, please, sir. I would like Pastor Shegun to still advise on that, because this aspect, one thing I've learned from him, especially when we came from the business school, was the aspect of separating your business from your, I'm sure you would have taught us many times. Now, as a business owner in 2026, please know your numbers. Just like that woman I said I met on Thursday. She didn't know she had made 300 million naira. She has made a sales of 300 million naira in 10 months. If not that the software I implemented for her, that I now said, see, the profit she has made, gross profit was 50 million plus. She didn't know. Now, why do I say so? And I was just encouraging her, we were discussing, and I said, please, ma, I don't mind, I will take time to teach you because of our relationship. I don't do it for everybody, but because of my relationship with her, so that you understand your number. I said I did it for one woman in 2021 January. As at that time, that woman was not making 50 million naira in revenue in a whole year. But I took my time to teach that woman what numbers are, because the language of business is numbers. That's why Dangote or Tedera, they don't joke with numbers. That woman that was not making up to 50 million naira at 2021, sir, today, the revenue in a year is 3 billion naira. Why? Because she understands number. When you understand number, you can go for loans. When you, for instance, you just say, it's calculated, no problem, go for it. But when you don't know what your business needs, you don't know how to grow, you don't know where to grow, you don't know the revenue that is coming in. So please, before I will also encourage Pastor Shegun to still talk on this aspect of understanding our numbers. You don't know how far your business can grow when you understand your numbers. Accounting is not shape. We just said the formula now, Abi. It's as simple as that. Okay, sir.
I think we have just said it. I know we have a time, sometime last year, about this I said is separating your personal from your business. For those of us who started business, like we hustled to start, we struggled to start, and now the thing is taking shape. Sometimes you just look at it, let's just be doing it. I think at a point you need to, I learned this long ago too, because sometimes you look at it, how do I live or run my life? because you also have to run your
Yes,
life. So with what I've been doing is to do directors' expenses. Because sometimes, and this is what I do at intervals. We've had someone, you may not be there yet, because sometimes some of us, you are the director, you are the deputy director, you are the sales manager, you are the record keeper, you are the alpha and omega. But just try and look at it within yourself and look at the possibility of, okay, I pay myself from the company. So, for example, from the company account, transfer to Shegun Awolowo, and with the description, the reason for that is so at the end of the day, I can check, okay, how much has come from me. But at some point, we got to a point where you can get somebody to keep the record. So what I do is I make a request. Can you please help me send this amount to me? And, because of the understand. The next question is, for what? And then once I say for personal expenses,
Who will say for what? Who will ask for
of course
what?
the lady will have.
Wow. That's our
Because
accountability.
that must be captured from our own record too. So once I say for personal expenses, so she records her personal expenses. But when they are checking the records, you can tell how much has come from the company to me. When it is for business use, because sometimes transfer could be made to me for facial use, then of course it will be captured. For example, we're somewhere, want to do a repair, and of course I have to pay from my hand and all of those things. And this is the way it works. Okay, I'll give you a basic example. Something happened over the weekend, and of course I'm learning too. I'm not saying because I know, I'm learning too. We needed to get water for church, So I got to the water person and said, okay, give me so number of cartons of water and all of those things. Something was yesterday, I said, okay, come on. I spent my money to buy this water. Church should have it recorded. It should be church. So I remember I spoke to the person who gives the record. I said, I bought 4, is it cartons, they call it now, parts of water, and please, I want my money. I got the money from the church. So there is a flow from the church to back to me. And so it is now on the church expense. So that we can clear the whole thing. Because
And that's where narration comes in. You have been hearing narration. Please, narration is not a joke. You know the reason. Even if you don't keep, I'm sorry to cut you, sir. Even if you don't, they don't come for you now. When they will come in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, you may need something. It's going to get to a stage when you want to apply for number plates. They will ask you, where's your tax clearance? That's where they are going in Nigeria. That's where we are going. So you don't have a place to hide. They are going there that whatever you want to do with the government, you must present your tax clearance. Oh, Raji Fashola did it in Lagos, that whenever you want to do anything with the government, you have to present your TCC. Now, narration is very important. You know why? 2 years after, you might not have kept your record. It may just be, you quickly look for an accountant. Cyber may prepare accounting. The moment you give your bank statement to an accountant, if the accountant knows what he's doing, he will prepare an account for you and will tell you, okay, this is it. But if you have gotten your narration wrong, because I've seen people saying, just use gifts, just use support, all those things will not fly in business. How many gifts are you doing? Are you a charity organization when you are not NGO? So do you understand? Get your narration. Do it right. I was at OOPL and I was doing my narration. And the woman said, transfer kia, and I was like, I need to take time to do my narration. She was not like, but please take time to do your narration. Don't just write anything. Write it in such a way that when a layman person sees your bank statement, even the one you print from OPay, the person will understand and will be able to categorize it rightly. So that's the reason why narration is important. So I just said that in passing.
I think it's just to encourage, because we have some people who are just starting business, and it's good that you start early enough. I would also encourage, if you are doing a business, use your business account to run effectively. It is for one of the reasons for me is that when you have the opportunity tomorrow and government is trying to create something happened to me late last year. I just got a call from one bank, And then the lady was like, don't you need money? I said, for what? I said, no, please don't put me into trouble. I don't need. He said, but there's this opportunity that federal government is doing. He said, oh, they check your record and find out that you are qualified for a certain amount of money at a rate that is not the normal regular central bank. So I said, so you check. So that comes back to keeping your record. You are part of people who have been teaching. You know, sometimes you may not know that. That's why I said you have people who could give you wisdom if you don't recognize them. So I've learned all of these things, that any kobo first to the account, any kobo. So it is on that basis that they say, okay, well, I'm qualified for this amount at the rate that is lower than the normal, and that makes it very easy too. So for sometimes you have some of these opportunities. Let's just, I just should quickly mention that. That's very important. So I wanted to ask before Mrs. Bukola, how do we get this? Okay, I think we mentioned it. This tax ID. I will send it. Okay, so the link will be sent and will share with us so that we can always. And let me also say this: it's very difficult, but we need to also create space for paying for consultancy. I think I should just mention that. Sometimes there are some of these things that you can't, like you said, you can't run it by yourself because you'll be confused. They are the ones who know how to run it. There's something we're trying to do with, I think this tax, there's a new system they created. Is it Tax Pro Max and all of those things. I don't know. They said go online. I said, I've tried it, it didn't work. Yes, I just spoke with someone. You know what happened? I talked with, this is what he does. He went to their office. Because if I go, they may not be able to attend to me. Because he is a consultant. That's what he does every day. They know him. He knows them. He told me when he got there, they said their system is shut down, this. You know what he said? He said he just spoke with one of their boss. He said, I need to get this done. Activate this record for this, my client. And he said he was inside the man's car. He opened his laptop. It was inside his car that he generated that stuff for me. If I had gone, it wouldn't have happened. Of course, the truth also is, I have to pay for that service. So you need to factor in all of those things at intervals. So when you are doing your budget, let it be part of what you are budgeting for this year. I will be ready to, you may not have the figure together, but I'll be ready to pay this amount of money to this person. Ultimately, it will reduce what you will pay at the end of the day, because it will help you. He was talking about tax avoidance. Some people don't understand that. What I think I understand is that with all of this noise, it is still possible at the end of the day, you won't pay a dime. But let's not go there. It's not good that we should be saying it.
As long as it's avoidance, we can say it. If it is avoidance.
It's avoidance. It is possible that you are still, they are able to help you prepare your record legitimately, and you will still be able to get it. And you will still be fine. I learned that from a top person.
That's what they do. Dangote does it as in like anything. Dangote.
It's just a point to kill us. We can still find a way around it. Yes, sir. All right.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
My first question is about is it CIT or stamp duty on properties?
Okay, stamp duties.
Now you said we are going to pay some certain amount before the 30th of the month. Is it that immediately we purchase the land?
Counts 30 days.
Or after we've collected the necessary document on the land? Is it that immediately we
from
pay for
the
the
day
land?
of transaction, which is the day, there will be a date stated on that deed of assignments. That's why when you see some lawyers, they will not put that date. But for me, I don't do anything doctoring. I don't do all those things. At times they leave it blank. It's because of that stamp duty that they don't put the dates. But for me, I love to be plain. Put the dates there. So that's why I'm telling us that once you want to buy any property now, just make sure. If they don't put the date for you there, you know you can still put the dates later and they will just say, okay, But I just pray that it will not be we don't have any court case on it. I will cite an example that if you have a court case, for instance, people will say, our money le buru, our money le buru. Our money le kodede buru, they are playing on a loophole that you don't know. Let me cite an example, it's a digression. You want to buy a property from Omonile, and you are buying in your son's name. Already Omonile has finished you. He has won that case. Because according to the Nigerian law, anybody that is less than 18 should not own a property. So Omonile already knows that one. You are buying your child's name. He has already, so don't worry, you buy. They know that when they go to court, they've already won. Because they will just quote the law will just quote the law that we are sorry, as at the time you said you bought this property for your child, it was only 17 years. And according to the Nigerian law of 1978 that we are using, a 17-year-old child cannot own a property except owned in trust for him. Do you understand? So that's why I usually prefer we do the right thing. Because once the Omonile also knows that you did not factor in the dates, all those things, he already knows that there's something fishy. There's something what's fishy. And eventually, just like I usually say, let me also digress a little. When you buy land or you have a property, Omonile can see your C of O. Omonile can see your governor's consent. But you see that deed of assignment, Omonile must not see it. We called some people Ajagungbale. They must not see it. Because there's something called in that deed of assignment called history of the land. Once they get that history, forget about it. So when people say Omonile, I say it's because you don't know what they use. So that's why for me, from the dates, let them put the date you bought the land there. Let every party, let them sign. From the dates that is quoted on that deed of assignment, count 30 days. Make sure you do your stamp duty within that 30 days.
Okay, sorry. That brings me to the buying a land with the name of our child. So now, what if we've done that mistake? How do we correct it?
You may have to seek. They've done it already. Omonile have signed.
No, we've.
Okay, or you just want to do it.
No, we've gotten it already.
Have they done the documents?
Yes.
If they've done the documents, you may have to seek a professional advice. See a lawyer.
Okay,
I'm not a lawyer.
But
if you have not done it, the normal thing is you buy in your name. You now do a deed of gifts to your child. That's all. You do a deed of gifts to your child. That's all. So it is in your own name you bought it, but deed of gifts is permitted.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So this is another question because I'm the HR of my company. And
Okay, ma'am.
before I joined the company, the tax agent that is in charge of the tax, but normally they used to send every month. They send the list of staffs to me, so we the one to file it. So I noticed that because we have staff, factory workers they are just casual workers.
Okay.
And the way he did it is that we used to deduct 1% of their salary because they are not based on a specific salary. It's just what they do, like a target for them. So and now you said the payee is supposed to be paid on anything from above 80,000 upward. So how do I go about it now if I want to readjust it? Because
do they earn over 80,000?
No.
Okay.
No, maybe 60, 55, at most 70.
Okay.
For the factory staffs.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can enlighten.
It's just to be pure. How much did they collect in a month? Definitely it's less than 80. You just say 0%. That's all. As in zero tax. Since it's not up to 80,000. If it were to be up to 80,000, there are two ways to it. Is either you do a tax table applies to them, or you just do withholding tax. Since they are factory workers, they are not, you said their salary is not, their wages.
Wages, yes.
Is not uniform.
Yes.
So is either you do WHT for them, withholding tax. Let's say for instance, and you can't even do WHT for them. Because the tax law says, the regulation of 2024 says that the moment the transaction you are having with a person on a regular basis is not up to 2 million naira in a month, don't withhold from such person. So from those factory workers, the transaction you are having with them is not up to 2 million naira in a month, each person. So you are not to withhold from them since they are factory workers. But if you classify them as salary earners, you didn't give them employment letter.
No, you don't.
So more or less like because one of the major thing you will know that this person is a staff, this person is a contract staff is the aspect of the employment letter. So once you don't have employment letter, you are supposed to deduct withholding tax from them. So, and they do not qualify for it. So the only thing is, have a schedule of withholding tax. Just do 0%. There is a way you can do it. You can download WST templates online. Use WST for them.
Okay, but sorry, sir.
No
I'm
problem,
just curious. And we've been paying
Paying
development
for them.
fee.
Okay, 100
Which
naira
is 100 naira
per
per
month.
class.
A year.
So does this still apply even if we do not remove payee? Since
For
we are
those
not-
contract staff?
Yes, because we've been paying it now for almost 4 years that I've been with them. We've been paying development fee on whole staff.
For the new tax law is silent on the state's development levy. So which means, and when it is silent like that, which means there's no law overriding it. The existing law stands. So which means development levy of 100 naira per year still stands for them.
Okay,
But for the
regardless.
payee, it is 0%. It is 0.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.